everyone, this is Julie with What's Next Teacher, and we're going to talk today about translating your teacher skills as you begin to apply for jobs outside of the classroom. I've been coaching teachers for many years about leaving the classroom and the education space for industries outside of education, and the number one question that I get is, can you help me translate my teacher resume for other fields? And this approach makes sense to me, but it's the wrong approach. That's because you don't want to take a resume and simply switch terminology from education out for terminology and keywords from different industries. The resume won't end up making sense, and you'll have a garbled mess that the hiring manager will not know what to do with. But never fear, we have a quick and dirty strategy for you today that's in 4 parts, and we'll go through that now. Step 1 is to conduct a resume audit. So take out your resume and ask yourself a set of questions. First of all, is your resume a reverse chronological list of all your past employment? Or is it a sales document selling you as a service provider? If it's the former, you're in good company because almost everyone thinks this is how to write a resume, but in reality, no one cares about your work history. That's not the function of the resume, to present a list of stuff you've done in the past. A hiring manager, frankly, doesn't really care about your past. They care about finding someone to solve their problems that they're facing right now. So your resume needs to sell you as the commodity, because you are a commodity that they're considering purchasing for a pretty big price tag. Your resume needs to sell you as that commodity that can solve the problems that they're facing right now. And we're going to get into how exactly to do that just a little while later. Secondly, ask yourself, am I using the right industry keywords, or do I need some tweaks? If you're using education world keywords, you will not get a second look if you're applying for non-teaching jobs. You're going to need to do some tweaking, because outside of teaching, no one knows what differentiation is, or cooperative learning, or assessment, or project-based learning. So if those types of words are in your resume, they're going to glaze over. Just think about when you try to read something that's highly technical that's in a different field, you feel lost, it's not a pleasant experience, and you really don't want to engage with that document. And that's not the effect that you want to have on a hiring manager, right? You don't want to go into the no pile because they can't make heads or tails of what they're reading. You need to be using the words that they would use when you're raising your hand and saying, yeah, I can do this job for you. I'm that person you seek. And most organizations too, now, even small ones, are using machine screeners, also sometimes called applicant tracking systems. And those look for keywords from the job posting. So you've got to have them in there, or your resume will never even make it to a hiring manager's desk. The third question I want you to ask yourself is, are you helping the hiring manager cross the invisible bridge? The invisible bridge is that bridge between your knowledge, skills, and abilities. So in other words, everything that you gained from your work experience and the kinds of services your potential future boss, that hiring manager, really needs from you should they hire you. You want them to cross that bridge from you, in other words, to what you bring and the job they need to get done. You want them to know right away, hey, this is what I'm looking for right now. Don't give them any reason to reject you. And if you're making them do the work, if you're putting the cognitive load on the hiring manager to make the connection between you as the candidate and the job, they're going to probably pass over you. They have too many other applicants who are really clearly, really obviously ready to hit the ground running in this role. And so if they're asking themselves as they look at your resume, is this person going to make my life easier? And it's just a mess, they're going to pass over you. So you want to make it really clear that yes, you're going to make their lives easier, because that's what the hiring managers are thinking about. That's what they care about, whether or not you're going to make their life easier and you're going to make them look good in front of their boss. And so we're going to talk about just how to do that in a while. So step 2 is you need to come to an understanding of the hiring manager's needs. You're going to get in their head. If you're brand new to looking for roles and applying outside of the classroom, what I want you to do is find 5 other postings for the same kind of role and see what's the same or what similarities you can find across all 5 of them. Those are going to be the core skills that hiring managers are going to be looking for that kind of role. So if you want to be, let's say, a customer success manager, for example, and you've never worked as one and you don't really know what it's all about, you really need to be doing this. And for a really impactful approach, pro tip, I'd even recommend that you do some informational interviewing with customer success managers. Just use LinkedIn to search for some, shoot them a message, ask them if they have 20 minutes for a virtual coffee with you or a quick phone call where you can ask them about their career path, what it's like being a customer success manager, what a typical day is like. And then in the informational interview, ask them too about how they're evaluated on the job. What kind of metrics do they have to meet? What do their bosses rate them on? All of this stuff is going to tell you what that hiring manager values in that particular type of role, and those values need to come through loud and clear in your resume. And there are some easy ways to do this kind of analysis across 5 or 6 job postings to see what the major themes are, what the commonalities are. Here I just stuck 6 different job postings for a customer success manager into a word cloud software, and this took about 3 minutes. What you're seeing here is that, the focus of this role is on customers. You're looking for sales opportunities. You are helping them with products. You are using a CRM. You're working on adoption. You're working on drumming up clients and business. There's going to be training involved, software as a service. So these are some of the commonalities across, and it's really easy to see with the word cloud software. Now, step 3, this is using a skills-based resume format. This is sometimes also called a functional resume. And what this does for teachers, which is so great, is that you can really highlight your skills over your work history. And so this type of resume makes it possible for you to create a resume that doesn't scream teacher. It doesn't box you in and get you pigeonholed. This is really, really flexible, and it allows you to highlight those skills that you're seeing in the job posting that these hiring managers are looking for. So one thing that the skills-based resume format does, which is really great, is it helps you with that applicant tracking system by allowing you to insert all of those keywords from the job posting. In the professional summary, you're able to do this. In the core competencies, you're able to do this. And then you are able to, with this format, conflate all of your past work history so that you're showing all the skills relevant for the job posting that comes from your entire work history kind of smushed together, right? And don't forget, this doesn't have to be only paid work. You can list unpaid, paid, formal, informal. It doesn't really matter. As long as you can speak to these kinds of projects that you're referring to in the resume once you get to the interview. So here you'll see that what you need to do is list the major skills that you're seeing in that job posting here: account management, relationship building, training, collaboration and communication, business growth, program process excellence, and then you're going to come up with achievements, and hopefully measurable achievements with some kinds of metrics attached to support this assertion you're making with this resume that you have the skills that they're looking for. You'll notice that you do list your work history, but here at the end, so it is de-emphasized, and you can list your education as well, and any tool and software proficiencies that they want you to have listed in the job posting. If you don't have them, you need to figure out how to get them, because again, this is one of the key things that they'll be looking for. Incidentally, I get asked, can I have a resume that is more than 1 page? I would say yes, 2 pages maximum, but more than 1 page, yes, that's fine. And then make sure to do another scan to ensure that you have no education jargon in there. It may be that you need someone else to take a look at it for you and say, do you understand what I've written here? Do you have a sense of what I've actually done based on the kinds of phraseology that I've used here? So let's move on to the 4th and final part of this exercise. And this is fun. This is throw a Post-it party. So what I want you to do is get out 2 different colors of Post-it notes. And what you're going to do with them is take them alongside of your job posting. Here's just a sample job posting for a customer success manager from Amazon, and pull out all of those skills and qualifications they're looking for. So here you can see I pulled out 6 of them. One is goal attainment, relationship management, communication, data analysis, planning, self-starter, and then you take those qualifications and you list them, one per sticky note on one color. And then next to those sticky notes, you'll have a different color that's blank. And on those notes, you will brainstorm anything that comes to mind that you think may suit what we're talking about in terms of these qualifications. So identifying business opportunities for clients and increasing adoption and utilization of company products. Where have you, as a teacher, done something like this? I think we've all had experiences with ed tech. We'll have some kind of new tool or software or something that comes down the pipe that we're supposed to use, or maybe something that we've elected to use, and we have to then somehow support the adoption of that entity in the classroom. So that's something you could talk about here. And relationship management. Where have you built and cultivated relationships with internal and external stakeholders? This may be, within the school, parents, students, community members. It could be from some kind of volunteer experience that you've done, or something that you've done as a freelancer. Driving decisions collaboratively, resolving conflicts, ensuring follow-through, and delivering results through a team. So most of us have worked in education on a professional learning community or something similar to that, and I think that is what I would put on this sticky note. But I'm sure you can think of so many more examples given your really rich history, and then you'll just dump them all out on these blank sticky notes. So that's it. I wish you the best of luck. I know that you've got this. Make sure that you are putting in the work on the front end, and it will pay off on the back end with interviews, and you will see the payoff for the time and energy that you put in. It'll be directly proportional to the kind of reception you get out there on the job market.